Oh my god, what a week it has been! There has been drama! There has been tears! There has been so much going on in the world. Thank you for checking it out with me. Let's look at this week's excitement in animation. And not only that, just hang around to the end because there is free software which you can get. Hello and thank you so much for joining me again for this week in animation news at Newsadon. There has been so much happening even though everyone is locked up inside. There are still so many stories that we need to talk about. So let's jump right into it and check out our first story. The first thing that I want to talk about is Lupin the First. The movie itself was released in December last year in Japan, and it made it up to the number 2 movie with a estimated 6.73 million recorded at Box Office Mojo. Now, no one knows exactly the Japanese box office, but with that, it's very exciting to see that it's actually getting dubbed in English as well, and it'll be released through K.A.T.E in English as well as Japanese, but there is no release date set. But it's really good to know that K.A.T.E are grabbing hold of it and going, you know what, this movie is worth releasing. So keep your eyes out for an actual date, and it is definitely going to come. So this is an exciting one, and you can always check out my review of the trailer that came out around the December period and the end of last year. The next one I just want to mention is the Film Battler vlog. This is done by a friend of mine called Dylan Coben. He's doing a vlog series of the production of his short film called Boy Meets Dragon. He's up to his second episode of the vlog where he's actually talking through his storyboards. So it's exciting. He's both the writer and the director of the film. So it's really good to hang out with him and actually see his storyboarding, because that's what I knew him from, is storyboarding. He's a really brilliant storyboard artist. So it's really great, especially this second vlog, to watch him talk through his own storyboards about where the story is and what's going to happen. And I'm really excited to watch this develop all the way through to a short film. Our link is in the description below. You're still watching? Excellent. Please make sure you hit that like button so I know that you love me. The next story that I think is really worth noting is the Sol Levante release on Netflix. Now, what's special about this is it's a co-production with IG Productions, and it's in the anime style, but it is the first ever 4K HDR movie that's been put out in anime style. So when you watch this, make sure you watch it on a big screen. It is really not worth watching on your phone, even though everything's going to be crystal clear, but watch it on a big screen because it is absolutely stunning. It is a stunning art form, and the amount of work and effort that these guys have put into this production, fully hand-drawn, it's only 3.5 minutes, but it is jaw-droppingly beautiful. So definitely worth checking out on Netflix, the Sol Levante release. While you're there on Netflix, if you've got Netflix, another hidden gem which would be really worth checking out is Beastars. Sort of a bit of a hidden gem that got on Netflix here in Australia at the end of last year. But if you've got the time and effort, or if you've got the time, especially now that you've got lock-in time and you need something to be doing, definitely check out Beastars. It's a really intricate and deep story, but done in the anime style. Oh, definitely some great content to be checking out now on Netflix. But even though there is no cinema releases going on at the moment, there are still streaming releases getting released. And there's 2 trailers which I really want to mention, which are definitely worth checking out. Hulu drops their first trailer for Solar Opposites, which is a 2-season, 8-episode series from Rick and Morty's co-creator Justin Roiland and executive producer Mike Mahan. This looks really, really great, and if you can stomach it, their tagline is, there's blood, guts, heroin, and a fear of parking enforcement. And that's just the trailer. Means for release in a couple of weeks on Hulu. This is one of those animations where I've been talking about its target audience, again, is not the younger generation. It's definitely an older generation target audience. And if you like that Rick and Morty style, this will definitely be one that needs to be checked out. Another one which has been, another trailer that's been released is for The Willoughbys, which is set as a new series coming out soon too. Deliciously neglectful parents Cute but hapless kids longing for a normal family. A half-baked plan to sell mum and dad away for good. What could possibly go wrong? Now, this is set on a book series, so how close they get to the book series will definitely be something which will be worth following, but it's quite a quirky little fun animation or trailer to watch, so it could be really, really cool, and it's coming out on Netflix on April 22nd. So again, while most people will probably still be in their lock-in laws, it'll be a good one to watch as it comes out. Now, there's also been quite a lot happening with the meteorite catastrophe, but there are still 2 films left standing with their summer release dates. Both of them are later in summer, but the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, is still set or penciled in for May 22nd release, and Soul is still set for release on June 19. Not to say that won't change, but at their current standings, that's what happens. If we look at everything else that's gone on, the meteorite's wrath has just screwed all theatrical releases. Scoob has been pulled with no new date. Minions Rise of Gru went down a path of where since France was in total lockdown, they were not going to be able to complete the film on time, so they've rescheduled that, but with no new release date. Peter Rabbit, The Runaway, has been rescheduled for January 21st, 2021. We're starting to see a lot of films, a lot of big blockbuster films go for the reschedule next year. So it'll be interesting to see how that rolls out towards the next couple of months. And we've also seen that, Trolls World Tour is coming for release on video on demand at the same time as its theatrical release, as well as Frozen 2 Onward being fast-tracked to video on demand, as well as Sonic the Hedgehog also being fast-tracked to being video on demand. So these movies are great. It's changing times. It's going to be interesting to see what their numbers do over the next couple of months. But the big production studios keep rolling on with things that are still happening. So while they've planned months, even years in advance, something that just happens so quickly is definitely going to have an effect, and it's going to be interesting to see how these bigger movies sort of stagger out over the next month or 2. And the last thing, which I promised you everybody, was free software. So to continue on with a lot of software developers wanting to help out with studios moving to remote workers and a lot of stay-at-home workers, F-Track Review is also now free until the 31st of May. Now, this is really cool for a step in for trying it out. If you're a small studio or you've got a small production and you want to be able to have a great collaborative media review platform, definitely check out F-Track Review. It has a lot of really cool tools in it, which make it really good for collaboration, to be able to work quickly and seamlessly back and forwards with a remote team. It's got a really big studio feel to the way its interaction does work. So definitely give it a try if you're in the position to try it out. I highly recommend it. And it is free until May 21. After that, there is also a suite of tools which come along with F-Track Review. But as a tool in itself, it is brilliant. Test it out, try it out, and run with it. Thank you everyone for hanging with me through these exciting times that we are working through. Things are changing. There are so many different things sort of happening in the background and moving forward. So keep an eye on this space. Animation is going to be a great tool for storytelling, and it's going to morph and change through all the troubled waters that we go through. Stick with me, and I look forward to next week where we get into some more awesome animated news. Thank you.